Becoming a member of the British royal family comes with a long set of rules and regulations. Senior royals receive an income to carry out official duties, but those lower down on the food chain are often responsible for managing their own finances. Here are the controversial ways royals made money. There's no denying the so-called Megxit sent shockwaves around the world. After announcing in January that they planned to, quote, work to become financially independent, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's royal transition would officially start on March 31st. One thing they did that raised a few eyebrows? The couple reportedly made a private joint appearance at a JP Morgan investment summit in Miami that February, and were rumoured to have secured $1 million payday for the event. According to The Guardian, Harry spoke to the crowd about mental health and even managed to loop the topic of his mother, Princess Diana, into the speech. Members of the royal family are unlikely to be pleased that Markle and Prince Harry were already taking money for their services, from a multinational investment bank no less. Of course, once the Duke and Duchess of Sussex were no longer senior royals, paid speaking engagements would likely become their new norm. Without their senior royal responsibilities and the rules they're bound to follow, Markle and Prince Harry would be able to enjoy a freedom they hadn't had since getting married, as well as the chance to make some serious cash. One thing you might not realise about the royals is that they apparently love milk. In fact, Princess Anne's son, Peter Phillips, and Princess Diana's niece, Lady Kitty Spencer, are such big milk fanatics that they've both appeared in milk advertisements in China.
This is what I drink.
While Spencer isn't in line to the throne and is free to work with advertisers, Phillips's involvement has reportedly stirred a few feathers. An article in The Guardian pointed out that Peter appeared to be trading off of his royal family connections in order to make money, all while technically being 15th in line to the throne. After separating in 1992, Sarah Ferguson and Prince Andrew officially divorced 4 years later. Discussing the matter with Harper's Bazaar in 2007, the Duchess of York said, "I wanted to work. It's not right for a princess of the royal house to be commercial. So Andrew and I decided to make the divorce official so I could go off and get a job." Ferguson became a spokesperson for Weight Watchers in 1997, held the position for 11 years, and reportedly took home a lot of money for the trouble. Looking back on her first major endorsement, she told Harper's Bazaar, "I was so lacking in self-confidence when I found Weight Watchers counsellors, who saved my life." Once she got started with her new vocation, Ferguson quickly took on more work. According to The Guardian, she booked gigs with Wedgwood China, Charles Schwab, and even worked as a guest presenter on CNN's Larry King Live, making a name for herself as a media personality. However, the publication was quick to note that all of her many endorsements were, quote, viewed with a certain sharp intake of breath from Buckingham Palace, where she has been almost persona non grata since her divorce.
I'm so unconventional that instead of serving tea, I serve ocean spray granapple juice drink.
In 2010, Sarah Ferguson infamously appeared to take a £500,000 bribe in exchange for access to her ex-husband Prince Andrew, who's remained a senior member of the British royal family amid his own series of scandals. According to The Guardian, the Duchess of York admitted to making a, quote, serious lapse in judgment after making the unseemly deal with a News of the World reporter. The reporter had gone undercover as an international businessman to see if he could buy access to Prince Andrew as part of an exposé. The investigation proved to be worthwhile. Speaking about the alleged bribe, Ferguson could be heard saying on tape, "That opens up everything you would ever wish for. I can open any door you want, and I will for you. Look after me, and he'll look after you. You'll get it back tenfold." After being seemingly caught on video, Fergie issued an apology. "I can confirm that the Duke of York was not aware or involved in any of the discussions that occurred. I am sincerely sorry for my actions."
What more can I say?
When you're not a senior member of the royal family, you can get away with a lot more when it comes to making bank.
I had a great life growing up because we didn't have a title.
Zara Tindall, Prince Anne's daughter and Queen Elizabeth's granddaughter, doesn't hold a royal title and isn't a working member of the British royal family. As such, she's allowed to organise her own business ventures and endorse products if she wants. And it seems she does. Tindall has reportedly worked as a brand ambassador for companies like Rolex, Land Rover, the clothing brand Musto, and more. As if those deals weren't impressive enough, the Olympic medal-winning equestrian also boasts her own line of jewellery with the luxury Australian brand Kaeya. 2012 saw Tindall become the first Magic Millions Racing Women Ambassador, a role which reportedly netted her around £125,000 a year, according to the Daily Mail. The publication even speculated that Princess Anne's daughter could be raking in as much as £1.1 million annually from her endorsement deals alone. But while some might think that Tindall's plethora of advertising deals are a little classless for a member of the royal family, she's not technically breaking any rules. King Edward VIII infamously abdicated the British throne in December 1936 after less than a year in the role. This was because he wanted to marry American divorcee Wallis Simpson, and the rules at the time simply wouldn't allow it. He then became known as Prince Edward, the Duke of Windsor, and moved to France, and the world was understandably desperate to hear the former king's story in his own words. Prince Edward's penchant for the finer things in life meant that his allowance from the crown didn't always cut it. As a result, he decided to produce his memoirs, having them ghostwritten and then published under the title A King's Story in 1951, among other books. Apparently, the Duke's writing was worth a considerable amount of money. According to Forbes, contemporary reporters in London guessed that the Duke received more than $1 million for A King's Story, a sum that would be worth over 10 times as much today. In fact, Prince Edward's book sold so well that Simpson decided to pen her own autobiography too. It's unlikely that the other royals were very happy with the Duke and Duchess of Windsor for revealing the inside details of the British royal family for cash, but there probably wasn't much they could do to stop them either. Princess Eugenie married Jack Brooksbank at Windsor Castle in October 2018. But unlike his wife, Brooksbank wasn't a member of the royal family prior to getting hitched. As the princess's mother, Sarah Ferguson, revealed on the BBC's The One Show that August, the good news is Jack also works as the European manager for Casamigos Tequila, so I am perfect. He'll just hand me the tequila and say, "Come on, mother-in-law, down it." Of course, one of the co-founders of Casamigos was A-lister George Clooney, meaning that the brand has already plenty of celebrity clientele and international kudos. As well as representing a tequila brand, the Daily Mail reported that Princess Eugenie's husband distributes the liquor through a company he set up for himself by the name of Jack Brooksbank Limited. He's reportedly far from new to the hospitality industry. According to the Daily Mail, Brooksbank used to work in pubs in Chelsea that were frequently visited by Prince Harry. And he also managed a club in the affluent area of Mayfair, which was also reportedly favoured by the royals. Basically, Brooksbank has always moved in royal circles, although he's usually been the one serving the alcohol. While it's presumably not against any rules, it certainly seems like a strange occupation for a member of the royal family. Prince Andrew has often found himself in the news for the wrong reasons, and that includes his financial affairs. The Duke of York used to act as a trade envoy for businesses in the UK, but was accused of using the position and his status as a prince to further his own interests. In November 2019, the Daily Mail ran an exposé of his business activities, claiming, "We can reveal how the Duke of York repeatedly exploited his taxpayer-funded role as Britain's trade envoy to work behind the scenes for his close friend, the controversial multimillionaire financier David Rowland." While on official business for the royal family, Prince Andrew reportedly promoted a bank in Luxembourg that was owned and operated by Rowland. While this alleged abuse of power reportedly involved sharing confidential documents and co-owning a business in the Caribbean tax haven, Buckingham Palace defended Prince Andrew's endeavours in a statement, which read in part, "The Duke of York was the UK's Special Representative for International Trade and Investment between 2001 and July 2011, and in that time the aim, and that of his office, was to promote Britain and British interests overseas, not the interest of individuals." 3 years prior, according to The Independent, the palace was forced to deny the prince, quote, acted as a fixer in a Kazakhstan business deal from which he allegedly stood to make nearly £4 million in commission. It seems Prince Andrew's finances could only be described as shady. If you thought the British royals were the only ones to make money in surprising ways, think again. Princess Märtha Louise is fourth in line to the Norwegian throne, but her career has taken her in a very different and sometimes controversial direction. In August 2019, the princess announced that she would no longer be using her royal title unless she was carrying out official business for the royal family. However, trouble arose when she started publicly getting into holistic therapies and other strange practices. She reportedly began to describe herself as a clairvoyant, claiming she could communicate with angels. When Princess Märtha Louise went on to advertise her supposed skills, along with those of boyfriend Shaman in seminars called The Princess and the Shaman, people felt that the royal was misusing her title and status.
And stuff going on. But we're fine, yeah. Really? Yes. Yeah.
In 2019, in an Instagram post translated by People, the princess wrote, "There have been many discussions about my use of title in a commercial context lately. The fact that I used princess in the title of my tour, I have said before that I am very sorry, and I still stand by that. It was a mistake, and I understand that it provokes when the princess title is used this way." Surprisingly enough, it would seem that running a new age wellness endeavour just doesn't mix with being a princess. In addition to helping to sell milk in China, Princess Anne's son Peter Phillips also sold his royal wedding photos for profit, a questionable move for a member of the royal family. When he tied the knot with Canadian Autumn Phillips in 2008, the British royal sold the rights to his official wedding photos to Hello magazine for a reported £500,000, according to the Daily Mail. At the time, Buckingham Palace reportedly called the deal a serious error of judgment. Oops. While it's hard to imagine any other member of the royal family selling their wedding photos to a magazine, it just goes to prove that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are far from the only members of the British royal family to explore money-making opportunities. Whether or not you believe that the royals should be selling their services, that's most definitely a public demand for any insight into the lives of the rich, famous, and regal. In that sense, it could be argued that Phillips was simply giving the public what it wanted, although his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth, just might quite disagree with that one. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about the royal family are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.